Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day whenever you've decided to click on this video. In today's video, I am going to be talking through my 2022 reading and channel goals. I'm also going to be reviewing my 2021 goals, and we can see what went well, what I could be doing better for next year, and what I want to like completely scrap for next year. So first I'm going to go through my 2021 goals, tell you what went well, what didn't, and then we're going to move into my 2022 goals. Sorry if I make any mistakes with the years here. I'm like really bad with the whole like it's finally 2022 thing. So first, let's talk about what I think went well. I think my biggest goal for 2021 was to track my reading so that I would be reading more diversely. That was my biggest goal. I wanted to read more books by authors of color. I wanted to read more stories with queer characters, and I think I did pretty good at accomplishing that. So I did successfully track most of my books throughout the year, and in terms of numbers, I, in 2020, read 26 books by authors of color, and in 2021, I read 80 books by authors of color. That's not a true like 200 or 300% increase in like overall like percentage of the total amount of books I read. I read more books in 2022 than I did in 2021. So I think the overall increase was around like 20%. So I'm happy with that. I definitely could always do better, but I think that was a good amount of progress made in 1 year, and overall I'm happy with it. It was my main goal I set out to accomplish, and I feel like I did. One thing I did run into, I will say, when it comes to tracking though, was it was fairly hard to track queer novels, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't want to have to guess someone's sexuality to be able to like mark it off of a checklist. So that's something that like I'm not going to be tracking in 2022, and I didn't super successfully track in 2021. I don't know. And it's also hard to say like, you know, what books had queer characters versus didn't. Like, are we gonna count books that had like a small, minute side character that was queer, or does it have to be the main character? So I don't know. That was kind of complicated to track. I do know for a fact that I read more books by queer authors, and that I read more books with queer main characters. I did attempt to track a little bit, but that was just kind of challenging, and it felt kind of weird to like have to Google an author's sexuality to like be able to say, oh, I read more queer books. Anyway, I feel like I did good, just generally speaking, on reading more diversely, and I'm happy with that. I'm also happy that I tracked, though I will be tracking differently in 2022. So that was a really long way of saying I did good on my main goal, and I'm happy about it. My next goal that I feel like I did a pretty good job at accomplishing was to do more diverse taste tests and to do more taste tests for smaller creators. And I feel like I did a really good job at that. I think only one of the creators that I did a taste test on had more than 100,000 subscribers, or had like 100K plus. Everybody else was like below that threshold, which feels kind of like arbitrary to say in general, but I just had a really good time with the taste tests that I did this year. I got to taste test people who I've been watching for such a long time, and it was just like an overall fun experience. I'm glad I accomplished that goal, and I feel like the sweet spot there too was doing fewer taste tests. I got to really like dive into people's taste without getting too burnt out on reading books that weren't in like my preferred genres. So I don't know, I had a good time with this one, and I feel like I accomplished that goal. And then the last goal that I feel like I did pretty good on accomplishing was to post every Sunday. Now, I didn't actually post every single Sunday in 2021, but I think the spirit behind that goal, for me at least, was to post pretty consistently, and I did that. I think there was a time in the middle of the year where I had to take like a 2 or 3 week break, but beyond that I posted at least a video a week for 2021, and I was very happy with that. Sometimes if I couldn't post on a Sunday, I'd post on a Tuesday. And honestly, I think for most of the months of the year, I ended up posting more than 4 videos. So like more than a Sunday video a week. So I'm really happy with that. I feel like it went really well. My posting consistency, I mean, I posted every day in December, which was not something that I had envisioned at the beginning of the year, but I got that done. And it was something that in the middle of the year, I decided was something important to me. So happy that I got that accomplished too. Now we can talk about the goals that were not as successful. The first one is one that I am probably the most disappointed that I didn't follow through on, and that is linking to my favorite like new videos that are coming out from creators that I really enjoy in the description of my videos. So, you know, a link to a video, go check this person out. I did that at the beginning of the year, and I kind of slacked after the first month, and I think there's a few reasons for that. I think the biggest one is that I'm gonna be honest, I'm just not watching as much YouTube as I used to, and I'm also, in addition to that, like not seeking out a lot of new creators, and I could definitely do better about both of those things, but also I think it was better for my mental health over this past year to just watch less content on social media. I definitely spent less time on Instagram, less time on YouTube, and kind of sucks because, again, I like do want to find new people. I do want to be linking to my favorite creators, but I don't know that this is kind of like the best avenue to do that. And the way that I upload videos too, I just like, I don't give myself enough time to really like put things in the description box and whatever. I think a way that I might try to remedy that in 2022 is to post on my Instagram more when I see videos from creators I really like. I tend to be more active there anyway, like just generally speaking. So that was one goal that I was like very sad that I didn't get to like fully accomplish, but it's one that it, you know, makes sense. It's life. Like I slacked. Another one that I was like slightly sad that I didn't follow through on was bringing back my monthly book club. In the past, I've had a book club where we read indie romances, specifically usually Kindle Unlimited romances, and I was really excited about the prospect of bringing that back. But as the year carried on, I realized that I didn't have enough time to like truly devote to that. And that's also kind of how I felt about the idea of doing like a Patreon or a channel membership. I just don't have the time to devote to it now. I didn't have the time to devote to it last year. And I think a problem that I had when I first started my channel was to get too excited about too many things and not fully commit to any of them. I wanted to do like a million podcasts. I wanted to participate in all the readathons and host things. And I definitely slacked on the things that I committed to. And I don't like that. I want to be someone who follows through on a promise. So I don't want to create a book club that I'm not able to like fully commit to. I also, again, don't want to create like a Patreon or a channel membership when I don't know that like every single month I'll be providing content or, you know, a book club that is going to be worth the money or worth the time. I don't want people to invest time in reading a book for a book club that like, you know, I can't get to that month. You know what I mean? That's definitely a goal that I wanted to get done, but realistically, I just know that I'm not in a point in my life right now where I can do that. So I know some of y'all have asked at the latter part of 2021, like, you know, oh, you should do this. And I know a lot of other creators like have done like new book clubs, you know, started up at the beginning of the year, or, you know, doing those channel memberships and Patreons. And I like look at it and I'm like, oh God, like I wish I could do that, but I can't do it right now. And I think I'm like happy with my decision to not do it last year. And I'm glad that I'm currently not doing that. That's not to say that it won't change or like circumstances won't change, but that's definitely not a goal that I have for 2022. So the last goal that I didn't follow through on, that I really don't care that I didn't do, was to make planner content. So I got really into the planner community on YouTube for like the latter half of 2020 and kind of going into 2021. And I was like, well, I just bought a planner. I'm so excited to like share that with y'all. And I did do a planner setup video at the beginning of 2020 and at the end of 2021, like setting up my 2022 planner. But I think beyond that, like, I don't think I'm going to be posting planner content. I didn't last year. I am not going to this year. And it's not because I don't love planner content. It's just so hard to produce. And I had no idea how challenging it was. I was like, oh, you just like point your camera at your planner and you just talk. But the editing is really challenging, and having to like redact information that, you know, is more personal in nature. It was a little bit too stressful for me. I tried a couple of times throughout the year to like do a planner flip through and it just didn't work for me. I think I am happier just using my planners and like decorating them to my specifications and not sharing all of that. I don't think anyone is really upset about it, but that's a goal that I had and I just didn't follow through on. So those are all of my goals for the most part, I think. I went through that video again just to make sure that I had captured everything, and I think I did for 2021. I think overall, I'm happy with how it went. I feel like the most important goals to me, I feel like I accomplished, and it's hard to say like accomplished versus didn't accomplish, because I didn't put like strict benchmarks or guidelines or numbers to any of these, but like the spirit of all of my goals that were most important to me, I feel like I did and accomplished, and I feel good about it. I definitely have room for improvement in all areas of those goals and just all areas of goals going forward, but I feel like 2021 went pretty well, and 2022 I have some new goals, new things that I'm looking to accomplish, and yeah, let's just talk through them, right? Like some of these are going to be very different than 2021's goals. Some of them are going to be similar, but I would say overall, the spirit of 2021's goals are a lot kinder to myself and a lot less prescriptive, like you have to accomplish these things. It's more like, this is what I would like to happen. I think that's something that I found in 2021, is that goals are important. I think it's good to have things you're trying to get accomplished, but things change, circumstances change, and if you have to kind of let go of a goal or two, that's totally fine. So my goals for 2022 are a lot kinder to myself, and just kind of reflect some of the challenges I was having in 2021. So with all of that being said, the first goal that I have for 2022 2022 is to post 6 videos a month. So similar to last year, I want to be posting basically every single Sunday and then 2 additional videos a week. So like alternating Tuesdays or Wednesdays. I haven't totally worked that out, and honestly, I'm kind of cool just posting like whatever day of the week on the weeks that I post more than one video. I just feel like that has been like a good number for me. I think trying to do a video every Sunday and then not having anything else to work on throughout the month, I was getting a little bit bored, and I just like posting more things. So I'm gonna endeavor to do 6 videos a month, and I think I can accomplish that. I feel like it's doable for me, and it's something that I want to be able to consistently provide for y'all. The next goal kind of goes with that one, and that is that I'm going to be taking November and December off of YouTube. That's not to say that you will see any changes. In fact, you won't see any if everything goes as planned, but I want to take November and December off. I have some personal goals that I want to get accomplished kind of near the end of the year, and I think it would just be such a beautiful thing to be able to just like enjoy the holiday season, to get some of my personal goals accomplished, and just know that I have a backlog of videos that are ready to be posted in November. I kind of want to do like the 12 days of Chanmas instead of posting every single day in December next year, but you know, being able to like provide that extra content and provide extra videos while also not having to like make anything in November, December sounds pretty awesome. So that's like a main goal for me. Something I wanted to share, but isn't something that I think is going to directly impact my channel in ways that you will see, I guess. But it's just like, I need to put that out there as like a commitment to myself. Like, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to forget about this and not give myself a break, if that makes sense. So anyway, that's one of my goals. Next goal is to experiment with new formats on my channel. This past year, I really stuck to familiar formats in terms of not just like video type. Like obviously I did a lot of taste tests, a lot of I Read 5s, but the actual like meat of the video, I feel like there is a really strict divide between a sit down video and a vlog. And I want that to be a little bit more fluid, and I want there to be a little bit more casualness to my videos. And I feel like this all sounds very vague and maybe confusing, but for instance, I have a video series planned going forward that is brand new and fresh, but the actual meat of the video, it's going to be kind of a hybrid between a vlog and a sit-down video. I want to be able to finish a book and then immediately after give you my thoughts and feelings, unscripted, but not have to update you throughout the benchmarks of a video on how I'm feeling about a book at like the 25%, 50%, you know, etc. mark. And that's not like a newfangled idea. I'm sure tons of people are already doing this, but it's just not something that I have done in the past. And I think that's something I need to experiment with, right? Like I need to switch things up and have fun, and I think it will also lead to me being able to post more content and perhaps better content. I don't know. I don't want to get too bold here, but new formats is something that I definitely want to try. And like obviously associated with that is to also just make more interesting creative content. I feel like, again, I just kind of slacked on that in 2021. I'm not upset at the videos I posted, but I do feel like it was lacking some originality, and I definitely could have stepped outside of the box a little bit, and I'm hoping to do more of that this year. My next goal is a goal that I also had in 2021, and it is to track my reading. I really loved the practice of doing it, and I do think it helped me, you know, see where I was slacking, or see things that I wanted to improve, or just generally see what my reading was looking like. I have always kind of put my books in Goodreads and like tracked that way, but that doesn't tell you a whole lot about what you're reading. So I think there is value in tracking in like a separate document. This year, however, I am going to be making my own document. I've already made it actually, and it has the columns and categories that are most important to me. Last year, I used a spreadsheet that was made by Allie from Hardback Hoarder, and I love that this is a free resource that she has been providing. I feel like it's a really good starting place, and it provides you with everything under the sun in terms of tracking. And I got to see what things I found valuable and what things I didn't. So now I'm making my own spreadsheet to use. And I think if you are looking for like a place to start, or you're looking to track like every single thing about your reading, I would definitely recommend her spreadsheets. I don't know if she made a new one for this year, but I like those. They're really good. I just think for my purposes, it was hard to track the things I wanted to track without tracking the things that I didn't want to track on that spreadsheet, because it would mess up some of the like charts and graphs and stuff. So for 2022, I'm going to be tracking my reading, but I'm going to be doing it in my own spreadsheet. That was a very convoluted way of telling you that, but if I can find it, I'll link to Allie's spreadsheet if you want to give that a go. What else do I have? I've got 3 more things to briefly cover. I want to do more casual videos as well. I think that kind of goes along with my previous goal of, you know, switching up my formats, but I think specifically, like, I want to be able to post more casual vlogs and like 24-hour reading vlogs. My channel, I think I just got bogged down with the idea that like everything had to be very professional in 2021. you know, I have to stick with my I Read Vibe videos. They have to have a very specific intro and then vlog style. And, you know, like, that's not bad. I definitely am not going to get rid of stuff that I love making, but I do think there's some room for some more casual stuff in here. And I definitely got like a taste of that whenever I was doing Chanmas. The vlogs are going to be more exciting, or like the videos I'm going to be posting are more exciting than the unplanned Chanmas content. But there's going to be more casual stuff in the mix, and I hope that's okay with you. I want to be able to show more of my life as well. Like, currently, right now, I'm working on a DIY project with Hayden. We are redoing our closet, and oh my god, it's a lot of work, but it's really fun, and I would love to be able to just like show you pieces of that in a casual vlog. So, more casual videos in the mix in 2022. Next is one that's like pretty impossible to quantify, I guess, but I think the overall vibe is that I want to just read more of what I want, you know? And I think you'll see that in some of the videos that I'm going to be making less of, but I want to just be reading more of what I enjoy. I think I had a little bit of an identity crisis in 2021 where I was trying to read too much of things that I didn't enjoy just for content, you know what I mean? Like, I was reading so much fantasy and I was not picking up a lot of romance when I was in the mood to read romance, right? That's not to say that I'm not going to read fantasy. In fact, I'm working on a fantasy video right now that I'm loving. So, you know, I still want to push myself to read outside of my comfort zone, but I really want to kind of scale back a little bit and read a lot more of what I like, which is sort of in conflict, I guess, with the last goal that I have, but like, I think there's a balance to everything. And let me just tell you what my last goal is. I want to read 50% of my physical TBR. Now, I think that's a reasonable goal. I think my physical TBR, last time I counted, was around 220 books. So I would like to read about 100 of the books that I own. And since I typically read around 200, 250 books, I think that's possible. So that would mean that about 50% of my reading would be books that I physically own. And that's just a goal that I want to accomplish because I feel like the longer I wait, the more my taste changes and the more of a waste of money these books were, right? Like, the longer time goes on, the more that these YA contemporaries are just going to be languishing on my shelves. It's like I want to balance reading more of what I want, but I also need to balance reading the books that I own. And some of those books I'm really excited to read. Some of them I'm not as excited to read, but I want to give at least 50% of the books on my shelves a fair shot. And, you know, maybe talk through that at the end of the year and tell you how that went and what books worked for me and what didn't. I think it is already giving me really creative ideas for content. Like, I want to come up with interesting ways to be able to read these books and make it for videos. So yeah, that's kind of it with my goals. Overall vibes, overall intention here is to keep doing what went really well last year in terms of, you know, reading more diversely. I want to do even better this year if I can, though I'm not setting like a number to that. And I also, you know, want to just have more fun. I think that's the goal. That's the intention behind probably most people's goals for this year. But I just want to have more fun reading. I don't think I mentioned it, and I think it's similar to last year. I don't have a specific amount of books that I want to read in 2022, and that's okay. And I really don't care about the volume of books I read. I like to give myself grace in terms of, you know, some months are not going to be heavy reading months and some will be. I'm going to set my Goodreads challenge to 100 books. That's it, you know what I mean? I'll probably end up reading like 200 or more books, but overall, I don't really care about the number. I just want to have a good reading year. I want to have a fun year making content for y'all, and I just want to have a good time. I want to have a good time. 2022, good vibes only, especially since like this year in terms of like life events is going to be overwhelming in a good way. I think I just have a lot going on in my life, and I want like my channel to be a space where I'm making things that I like, where I'm reading things that I like, and I'm just having an overall good time. So, grateful for your support. I love y'all so much. I hope this was entertaining, maybe in some way, or at least informative of like what's to come for this next coming year. But I love y'all so much, and until next Sunday.